Hello, Joe. You're muted though. Here, let me ask you to unmute.
There it goes. There we go.
Nice to see you.
Good to be seen.
Are you in your basement?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's too much
Um,
chaos. Too much chaos upstairs for me right now.
do you have kids?
I have a stepson.
Okay. Okay. Is this your man cave downstairs?
Kind of. The
Mhm.
jujitsu mats are down here and all that stuff. But I usually don't hang out down here.
Yeah.
They only come down for jujitsu and laundry. Other than that, I don't know. It's nice
Yeah.
upstairs.
Is this I think I was talking to your wife during the breakout sessions and we were talking about, and I remember her making a comment about you guys being really serious about your health, the two of you, but
Yeah,
not in a crazy way, just in a we need to take care of this sort of deal.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're pretty.
So just so you know, so this is a call that I have. I used to run a real estate group. I don't know if you're familiar with Pace Morby and like creative finance sort of stuff, but I used to run the New England chapter for him. And this
I'm
was
sorry. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Oh,
I'm sorry.
listen,
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. I'm
no.
fucking with you. You're gonna get real authenticity from me. So
Yeah,
I'm not a big peace guy, just so we're on the same page there. But
it's okay.
good.
So at the end of the day, I regret nothing.
Of
It
course.
was tough, and I ran into. I think the thing that disappointed me most was that people were stealing from each other, and so
Mm,
I call myself that I have. Like it's a little culty, right? He's Mormon, so there's influences of that. But I talk to myself of that, like I left the Amish in a weird way, and I'm
yeah.
shunned from the Amish. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful because I met Mark technically through Sub 2. The person I was when I started doing leadership versus the person I ended up being, it put me through the ringer of stuff, and I've definitely have growth. And so I regret nothing.
For
But
sure.
it's not something that I do currently to this day because I found it's a little reckless. I know what he's selling to, the blue collar guy that has a little bit of grit, but kind of dangerous. All these new guys that are trying to do the stuff, but just not knowing enough. So I have a group that I run now, which I call Creative Elite. The whole Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. But I care a lot about integrity and ethics, just because I feel like I ran into a lot of people that didn't have it. And I'm not really interested in partying with those people. I want to have good friends. I want to be a good friend. I want to make good money and I want to do good work that I'm proud of. And so I think it's fairly simple, but that's the mission that I'm on. So I have a call on Tuesdays where we can talk about things. I have people that'll come in later too. We have some deals that we do together, but the whole goal is to do more do more deals. At the end of the day, if we're not doing deals, we're not doing real estate. And that's the whole point of us working together, is to do more real estate.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm happy to meet you. I know you said you wanted to connect and talk. You're welcome to ask me anything. Yeah.
I just wanted to get a handle on what you were looking for, like when stuff comes across, like I'm not super plugged into the business as much as like any, right? That's what I built the business for, is to like
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily seeing things, but I do catch wind of like people passing by, or uh I can put a bug in someone's ear like, hey, this is what's going on, you know?
So are you saying like the experience that I had and the reason why I came to the mastermind?
No, meaning like I'm like I don't know. I can't tell you right now what we put under agreement. Like this, you know what I mean, this week,
That's
right?
good.
And I know they put three things under agreement. I couldn't tell you where the fuck they are. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like so, or what's necessarily going on from except for the fire that I had to put out yesterday internally, not like my house is on fire, but like business fire.
Yeah.
So, like just I don't, and I'm not a like super cozy get to know people kind of guy generally. Like no one knows who Joe is locally to a certain degree. Like I don't go to all the groups and all the meetups and give everybody a big warm fucking hug because like it's just not. It's not like I'm just, I'm kind of like you in that essence. Like I really don't, I think this industry has like a lot of shitbags in it. And I've worked really hard to get where I'm at. And like, I really like the people that work for me. I take care of them. The people that are around me, we're trying to do things. So I just don't, I'm not one of those abundance guys either. That's like, yeah, like fucking of like abundance is enough for everybody. No, I'm in fucking business. Fuck you. You know what I mean? To a certain degree, like I got 20 something families to feed. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I'm abundant. You know what I mean? That I'm not toting. I think you know what I mean. I'm not toting that. Oh, everything's gonna be good and great. You
Yeah.
know, well, it's not
Yeah.
good and great when we don't bring enough deals in the door next week, and we
Yeah.
have 300K to run a
Right.
month. You know, like no, not everything's okay. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It was like I've heard. I think Mark crossed paths with me, and then you know anybody that came to that mastermind, like they were pushing me to do that, and the team was, and Braun was, and you know, so anybody that came and made that extra effort to come out and see those people, of course, I'll jump on. I'll jump on and have a real conversation, you know, and lower my guard a little bit, you know. So that's you know, I don't know. That's what I got.
So you felt like everybody was asking you to put on a mastermind that really wasn't your cup of tea or what you wanted to do?
Yeah, like so Braun, okay, they like it's not really the three things that I want to do, and none of a mastermind does not fall
Yeah.
into that my three things that I'm trying to focus on that I think I
Yeah.
mentioned to you, right? Like so but Braun had been we usually do like one thing a year, and we don't call it a mastermind. We just like we usually do our one thing a year type of
Mhm.
event. Usually 100 and something people come. We do the wine and dine, free food, free everything. And this year, Braun said, "Hey, why don't we target like mid-tier investors?" I was like, "I've been telling Braun that that's not the way. That's not how you do it." And but I know the owners of the fund. I know like I'm so I tried to help Braun and said, listen, Candy and Braun, here you go. Go, like, you got my sign off. I'll pay for it. I'll do whatever. I'll speak. I'll bring anybody I want. Like, dude, I'll help you out. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm not leading the charge on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we got there.
Yeah. So when you do your 100 people, when you do your big event of the year, you do your 100 people. Who are they and why are you usually doing that one?
Just the past couple of years, I don't know, to be honest with you. And it's been with Braun,
Hmm.
and I tried. Renovo begged me to do it last year, and Renovo, I know the guys who own Renovo from the top because they're in CG with me, and their local rep. So they tried to get me get him going more in New Hampshire, and I said yes, I'll do it,
Hmm.
and those guys are like Massachusetts. They're a little too stuffy for me, right? They're too stuffy for the New Hampshire rednecky kind of people,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it didn't go over real well with my crowd to a certain
Mm.
degree. Like
Okay.
you got to be real. I mean, if you come off like you're a jackass who drives a $300,000 car, it
Right.
it comes off pretty easy, you know.
Is this Paul?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
love Paul. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, right? Like I'm doing a ton of stuff with him and his new guy, right? But you coming to New Hampshire is not Boston, is not is not Boston. Like it's just not, you know. So it didn't go over real well. So that's what I don't know. So masterminds aren't really my thing.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I'll do them. I'd rather go do deals. Let's go do
Yeah.
deals. Let's run a company. Let's build companies. Like that stuff to me is a little more fun, you know?
I think to a certain extent, I hear you. I'm actually an introvert. I want to sit on my couch with my dog and like not go to events or wear
Yeah.
jeans. That's not my speed. But I have, for me, I guess where I'm at right now, so I'm 38, I've done maybe like 6 flips. I used to run the real estate group. My mom was a real estate agent for years. I consider myself 4th generation real estate. So I love this stuff. And then I guess I didn't want to do the normal stuff because it was too boring, you know, being an agent for me. So I wanted to do the weird and funky things, which is how I think I fell into pace and whatnot. So I'm not one to go out to other people's meetups, but I do in this business. I always say real estate is a team sport, and real estate is better with friends. Because some of the hard things that I've gone through, I would have never made it through had I not had friends to kind of like help me pull my head out of my ass or pick me up when I fall down. Because I had a friend who ended up stealing from me. This was my best friend of 3 years. Never saw it coming, and that was like more of the betrayal. And so I don't know, I started rewriting a lot of what I was doing at that time. But with that said, I believe in people. I'm a little bit more on the woo-woo side. So I hear you where you say like, fuck abundance. That's not really a thing. I'm in the trenches. I see what happens. I have mouths to feed. I have a $300,000 operational budget, and I just cannot live in your woo-woo. I've had enough nice things happen to me that there is more of that woo-woo for me. But I also understand the practical side of things where you're like, listen, I'm one of those people. I don't like, what's that? The go-giver mentality. I think it's a crock of shit, because my feeling is you cannot give if your needs are not met. Once your needs are met, that's when you can give from the overflow of your cup, but you cannot be a go-giver if, you know, your family's not taken care of, if you don't meet the $300,000 operational budget that you have, things like that. So I don't know, but where I'm
I'm
at
with
now,
you. I'm
yeah,
with you. Let me throw a
for sure.
curveball at you,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna hit you with some fucking woo woo here. Is like, so the so I used to own a yoga studio, and I
Yeah.
do a shit ton of like deep woo woo stuff
Mhm.
around me. So there are two sides to me that
Okay.
once you get to know me a little bit more,
Yeah.
that is there, and I am going down more of
Yeah.
that space. All right, go ahead. I just wanted to like
Are we
just want
talking plant medicine?
say it again.
Are you talking plant medicine?
No, just another I have a transformation coach that I work very closely with. Other other stuff, no drugs. Like I've been sober a long time, right? So
Right.
no fucking microdosing shrooms or any bullshit like that, like actually like you know what I mean? Like stuff
Yeah.
that's just working through mental roadblocks, things
Yeah.
that have held me back personally as trying to grow relationship wise with my wife, with Candy, working together, just like a lot of that and some other woo woo stuff, you'd probably be surprised because I can come off very businessy to a certain degree, but there is something beneath that
Yeah. Yeah.
facade, you know.
I get that. I don't know. I'm in the boat where too many special things have happened, and so I can't deny that. I ended up hiring a coach, my first coach ever, when my friend stole from me, because I was like, I am so fucked right now that I need to do something. I've never done this before, but I need something because this is really bad and I don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And so working with her was, it's a little bit more on the woo-woo side than I am in, but I've seen enough, I've received enough that I know that there's something there. As to how to lean into it, no idea. But going back, one of the things I wanted to say is I might not be your party animal and doing all that stuff, but I actually have a lot of fun going to other people's events and meeting people. I think there is something to be said about you showing face, whether it's at Bronze Thing or going to other people's events, that brand you kind of like, I know like New Western kind of does this, where they have a bunch of what I call baby wholesalers, newer people in the business that don't have the leverage that you have. Essentially, what was that guy, Charlie Digas, DAG,
Yeah.
that you were sitting next to? I consider him kind of a little bit of a baby wholesaler. He's been in the game for a minute, but being able to partner with you on a deal kind of gives him wings, sort of thing. So I think seeing you out and about, knowing who you are, seeing you makes you more approachable, and also points people in your direction. So I don't know if that's enough for you to do those parties that you do. I do think there's value and benefit to it. So I would love for you to continue doing it, even though you might hate it at this moment in time.
I found a way to monetize it is what it comes down to now is
Mhm.
what I started the exploratory thing that ended up happening was like you I mean you anyone and Mark we all know this business sucks the life out of you, right? Doing this stuff just can drain you
Yeah.
mentally when you're doing it at any kind of like full-time basis. And the um and switching gears into like the business is pretty processed, right? Like from what we do, and then going and creating chaos again is kind of where we're at right now. And this
Mhm.
whole really going at creating chaos. And I made one post about me coaching, and holy hell, I think I've booked 14 calls on people wanting me to coach them on their business. And I'm not talking low ticket, like I'm not, I'm not cheap. And
Yeah.
the because I'm known more nationally, right? Like I go and fly to events nationally, not locally.
Mhm.
So I'm in like
Mhm.
CG. I do another thing down south. Like I'm just not the local guy because I won't. I have a tough time with the like. I don't want to play with like I'm trying to grow in what's authentic. Like I get it, and like there is that side. I'm right there with you. Like Charlie's brought me a couple deals now, and like going there and doing that stuff. It's the coaching is what's got me to open up a little bit of like okay, and not necessarily real estate coaching, like business coaching. That's
Yeah.
what's got me passionate
Fired
again
up.
to help
Yeah.
people and be like, all right, let's put it out there. Fine. Like I do another fucking deal. I'm like, Jesus, shoot me. You know what I mean? Like, the Charlie deal that I had to bail him out of, and I got multiple attorneys because I raised my hand to help him, and that's not the process. Like, I don't get involved in a file anymore. Like, for fuck's
Right.
sake.
Right.
So
So how do you spend your days nowadays? If everything is so processed and dialed in for you, what are you doing?
yeah, creating chaos as much as possible. Like truly. So yesterday, my top one of my top sales guys, we fired him. It's been 2 years coming, right? And now we had to go back in, and it's been a core value violation. We've let it go for too long, and I let him go. And so that creates some chaos, and that creates a leadership vacuum. And
Yeah.
so deal with that today. Today I was on a coaching call. I was on a couples call with my wife and transformation coach.
Yeah.
I was in PT today. There was some other meeting. Like, don't get me wrong, I got to deal with money and moving money around, all that jazz.
Yeah.
A meeting with my sales manager, a meeting with my assistant. Um, that was my day, roughly ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coaching
In a,
call. Yeah.
in a weird way, taking care of everybody else and also trying to take care of you
Yeah,
and Kim.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was PT for me, something for me and Candy, something for the business,
Yeah.
something for a few other people, and like that's what I did.
Yeah. You mentioned there are three things you want to focus on. Can you remind me what those things are?
Yeah, it's larger asset class, so mobile home parks, preferably right now is where we're trying to go.
Hmm.
Um, Capital raising and coaching, business coaching.
Mobile home parks.
Yes, sir. What do you got? What do you got, Mark?
Any interest in RV parks, or is that too not what you're looking to do?
I don't know it as well, but I'm looking at anything right now. Like I got to pack money this year. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I
so
have I have a nationwide RV park list that I gotta get calling. It's
yeah,
like 15,000 different parks
give it to
nationwide.
What?
me and I'll push it into my cold calls.
Yeah.
Mm,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
just push it over. I'll push it in if we get something, whatever. I'll work it out with you.
Yeah.
But I mean they ramp, well, I don't know, 15, 20, 12,000 calls a day for me, and they just push it into the sales team.
They can go through that list in about a day.
They'll chew through that. They'll chew through that pretty quick.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta dig it up from somewhere, but yeah, pretty sure it's like 15,000 parks nationwide, but like RV park. It might be a mix, but I think
It's all
it's
right.
Strictly
Right,
RV
like fucking
parks.
go right after it. I mean, all you need is the one that hits at a low dollar. You know what I mean? That hits it. You know, I want something cheap, not cheap, but like discounted.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to pay a 6 or a 7 cap. I'm not there.
yeah.
You know.
Joe, when you talk about capital raising, what specifically, in what regard? What are you trying to do with that?
Yeah, right now, so capital raising is, I'm trying to go into, I need my money is in the business, right? Like what I have is, yeah, I'm like, okay, I do well, but like generally speaking, all the reserves and all the stuff that's in the business. I need to get that out of the business, right? So where I'm going for capital right now is like making lots of relationships that take a long time, a
Mm-hmm.
longer time. It's a slower burn, but people trust me so that when that deal comes, if I'm going after a mobile home park or whatever it is, I have access to that capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then internally right now of um the lines of credit for the office and like MBT is about to extend me a $500,000 line, so on the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because I flip houses, but because I'm a marketing and high ticket sales, right?
Yeah.
So really it's some relationship building is really where that is right now, and then I'm trying to work on something with Noble so that they can infuse some large capital so that we can expand and like expand into another geography and another asset class. Like they talked about, they don't have 300 houses right now to rehab. That guy that was doing those 300 houses is moving in the hard money. Like
Yeah.
you got a fucking guy that's doing 300 houses a year, and the only thing they know how to buy is foreclosures. So they've
Mm-hmm.
had multiple meetings with me over the years to like help them in their direct to seller, and they've been worried about doing it. And I'm just gonna hit them up with like Braun and the other guy were like, you need to have a conversation with Lane on like an equity buy or something for IPS. So I'm just trying to make some moves with the being able to raise capital for when I have something that comes in, I can move on it.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking, and keep in mind, who am I to tell you anything? But this is just the
Oh,
thought that
good. Don't worry about it. You don't have to
you,
play. We don't
you
have to
said.
play it.
You said you went to Collective Genius. You came back and you were like, I want to coach somebody. But I almost feel like you should be coaching Noble
Yeah, that
to
too.
in a weird way.
For sure. It's so the coaching thing is a long I appreciate it and I don't mind like we're talking as equals right now. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Not I don't gotta we don't gotta play that. So the the uh the piece there, that's been a long burn over 3 months to be able to get to this coaching thing. It wasn't just with CG. It just so happened that once I came back, I turned it on. I've
Yeah.
been working with a coach to build out the coaching program, and I worked with another coach that allowed me to kind of remove the lid from that it was holding me in my own box. So remove
Yeah.
the lid, build a coaching program with a coaching coach. Then she was like, okay, go. And I so happened to tee it up right after CG. And then that's what that is. 100% with Noble. And that's what I'm trying to build out this week is there's a guy that I know that he runs about 160 businesses that he owns and runs.
Mhm.
He's a pretty solid player in the world and in our world. And I have a meeting with him this week on restructuring something for Noble and coming up with a plan for them. Because they've called me the owner of the funds called me to consult them a couple times. And
Yeah.
um and that's where I'm gonna go.
I talked to Sean a little bit because he was going around handing out those construction
Yeah.
draw sheets or whatever. And I was talking to him. I was like, "What's your return on it? Like, how much money are you guys making by doing all this activity?" He told me 8 to 9% returns, and I was like,
Yep.
"But you guys make like almost double that when you do your lending side. So why would you even partake in flips?"
They don't have the lending they're not real so in Pennsylvania, because I've flown out, they've flown me out there and it's Amish money. Funny you say the word Amish. So they're legit in Amish country in that
Yeah.
part of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And the people that are there don't need their money. So they weren't in the hard money space till a few years ago. I want to say less than 3, and they started with a 15 million credit line. Like the fund has, I want to say the fund has 200 mil, which isn't like a huge
Mhm.
fund, but they got 200 mil, and they have been in this. They do some notes. They do a bunch of different stuff. They own parks. They have HVAC electrical businesses. They would, so they were heavy. I want to say they had 40 people in this rehab department working, and the hard money just kind of like was a pet project for them. And they had a
Mhm.
15 mil line. They went to 25. And I think Braun said the other day they're up to like 50 on the line right now that they're allowed to lend out. So that business doesn't necessarily, the hard money business in Pennsylvania, they have to expand outside their immediate geography due to the Amish have a lot of money, a fuck
Yeah.
ton of money that they lend out locally. So
Mhm.
they have to go outside of their geography to lend. And
Mhm.
yeah, so that's the noble thing, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting. I called
Yeah.
you a local celebrity when I was describing you, and I was like, "Do you want to rewrite this?" And you're like, "No." And then tonight you're like, "Yeah, I don't want to be a local celebrity. I want to be nationwide."
Yeah. Yeah. I am nationwide celebrity.
Yeah. So
And
nationwide.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking
No,
with
no, I know
you.
you. I know you
I'm
traveled
fucking.
to, right. You said Florida, and then Collective Genius. I think they did something in California, and stuff like that. So I know you're like cross pollinating different networks that way. I'm sure like when you're calling right now and where your data is in New England. I mean that's how you branded IPS for now.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I'm a tiny fish compared to you.
Nah. It's all. It's not I hear you, but I I don't I don't care about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're friends. We don't gotta talk about deal count. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care about that. People
Yeah,
provide value, and I'll fuck around and be like, oh yeah, nationwide celeb. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, fine. But like I don't. You get to know me. I don't really.
listen, I don't feel any type of way like you're making me feel a certain thing. I just
Okay,
want to let
good.
you know that I'm not confused as to who I
Okay.
am and who I'm talking to, kind of deal. Anyway, so you said you wanted to connect. I'm happy to connect with you. If there's something that I can do to be, that's what I care about. I want to know good people that do good work. My impression of you just from that one day is that you're in the trenches. I adore Candy. She's fabulous. And so I know that like, she'll keep a good harness on you. So if you're the workhorse, she'll steer you in the right direction. And there's no reason why you two can't be successful and great together. So I'm just excited to watch the two of you. And then on top of it, I've been following DPS for some time now. I don't really want to be a buyer in New Hampshire. I'm supposed to be, I branded myself as someone from Rhode Island, but then I got a
Yeah.
tiny dog and I wanted him to have a better yard. And I ended up doing a creative deal over on like the border of New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And then Massachusetts stuff is so expensive that half the time I'm looking at, don't even look down south, but just when I look at your deals where you're like 20,000 for a mobile home, it is like 3 hours away from me, maybe, but I don't know. I've been on your list. I've been watching your list. I share anything that I think would be valuable to friends of mine that are buyers for those things. We just talk about different deals. So I've been watching you for a minute.
Sweet. All right, I'm gonna drill you with some questions then.
Sure.
So what do you like for I'm just gonna remove the muffler and not overthink it. So um what are you trying to accomplish? Like what are you trying to do in the next year for revenue?
So when it comes to business, I prioritize my personal life this year. I'm 38. I'm not married. I actually
Okay.
got serious with Mark this year. So when it comes to revenue, this year has been prioritized in my personal life because I want to have kids, and I get very nervous when I think about having kids at 40.
Okay.
For revenue, he has his own thing that he does. For me, I consider myself a housewife. I can do a house and do 6 figures on one project. And in all honesty, I'm planning on doing 2 projects a year. So maybe like about 200. That's it.
Perfect.
But
That's
the
awesome.
stuff that I do is more higher end. It's not so much like median price point range. I like nice, pretty stuff, and so I like the higher end zip codes kind of deal, like middle income, upper middle income sort of thing.
Okay, good. That's what I needed to know. The revenue just gets the conversation started for me.
Yeah.
So the piece there is okay, so it's 2, we'll call it high-end flips. What's your general buy price? Like what are you normally buying ish, roughly
Yeah,
ish?
350 to 500, and
Okay.
then I want to break into the 1 million ARV on the back end.
Okay. And what's like where you what 2 counties if you had to pick 2 counties?
Mark, where is Andover?
Essex County.
Essex County, only one.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you would consider Middlesex. Like I think you mentioned Billerica a couple times. Billerica has some price points up there and stuff like that.
I'm
Yeah,
not
because
into the super expensive Newton places because
no,
that's
no, no, no.
not my pocketbook right now, but I can handle, 1 million ARV and then purchase around, 350 to 500.
Yeah, and what did you look at that you tried to bid on with us that, for lack of better words, bid by whatever the fuck you want to call it?
Totally different. So this year I'm like, I'm older. I need to hold more stuff. I don't really want to do rentals, but I'm trying to try new things.
Yeah.
So the one that I liked was this really cute little ranch in like starter home ranch, Epping, New Hampshire. I think you guys offered it at
Oh, yeah.
180. I think that one was really popular.
That fucking guy. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
What happened?
Oh,
The DISPO guy?
the DISPO guy.
I
Yeah.
had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Yeah. Fucking prick.
Yeah.
So he built him up. Got quick story, and this is probably why you get some of my cynicism is that guy comes to me whining and crying. He's not making any money in real estate. 50 grand he made. He's left his job. He's 50 grand. I'm on track within 6 months. Within I think it was 4 months with me, and I think he'd already done like 60 or 70 with me,
Wow.
and like on track to like, for me, I'm like trying to quadruple someone's income. Not quadruple, double where they were at. Like I'll put you on track, spend all this time with them. That week of that Epping deal, that Friday that deal went, it was Labor Day weekend. It was Friday. I had staff out and I had 2 projects go sideways, and I ended up having to field the calls. He's on the phone with me back and forth. Just I'm trying to help him get through the deals. He emails me at 4 o'clock saying, "I quit. I'm out.
Hmm.
Move my license." And I was like, yeah, no, thank you. Like that's not how this is going down. So it's
Yeah.
funny that you bring up that Epping one. What happened, Mark? What happened, guys? What happened with that? Why didn't you get that project?
Uh, no, I think we need to be under where you guys ended up accepting anything anyways. I think
Oh,
it was a
okay.
communication error. It was just it wasn't on a smooth process. So she had like filled something out and then got like one phone number, called it, nobody answered, got a call back from a different number, but it was at a different time. It like she didn't feel like
Yeah.
she knew who to reach out to and who was a
Okay.
single point of contact, and it was messy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
I
That
was-
was
get
not
that.
that was not the first deal I reached out on. There was something can't remember what it was, but there was something that I was like, I want in, let me in. Rochester, maybe something in Rochester.
That makes sense.
Another cute little like ranch, 3-bedroom ranch. I like a cute little thing. Anyway, I just thought it was like digestible, whatever. But the same thing, like I just kept running into walls. I get the tech, whatever phone number. I know you guys changed over your phone number too. Whatever phone number they gave me, whatever email they gave me. There was one day where I was like, I'm in. I want to come to the walkthrough. Like, just so you know, like, let me in. What's the address?
Yeah,
And I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And I think like hours later, it worked out that I got to know before the whatever walkthrough was. But same thing. So I messed up on the Epping one because in Epping there were two properties. one that I was interested in was the 3-1 ranch. And then there was like this other like 1,700 monstrosity. So I got confused that day. I went to the one that was not having a showing. And then I was like,
Oh,
Mark was like, no, this is not it. And I was like, are you sure? Let me just back on the door. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? This is weird. Nobody else is here except this one car. We met Chris, walked that monstrosity, talked to him too, and was like, hey, what's the process? Like, who do we, it just feels like this weird AI portal of like, I know you have a systems and process. I used to work for Tesla. So I know like you have a lot coming at you. You have a certain conveyor belt that you want people to be on, but it was really hard just to get in. And so when I saw your mastermind, I was like, excuse me, but I was like, bitch, I'm coming. I want you to know my face. And when you see my fucking name, I want you to know like I'm in. Like I don't want you to be scared about me. I don't want you to be like, who's this little girl that I've never heard of? Like when I tell you I want or I'm bidding, like please take me seriously. So that's why I came guns blazing.
no, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you just being upfront with me about it. It's a touch embarrassing. The piece there is I can tell you that we just ported everything in the Salesforce. So it's been because what ended up happening is we've been in Salesforce for a couple of years on the acquisition side. Acquisitions, we're like a machine. Like I can see if we missed a call. We've been in like REI Black Book for a couple of years, and it's been like, it's been this clusterfuck of like, and we couldn't get out. Like, it's not easy to build in Salesforce, and so we had to get acquisitions in there. We got TC in there, and it was just like we kept pushing DISPO in. We finally cut over this week. I think yesterday was our go live for bringing DISPO in because now now I can see everything, not I, but the sales manager can see any calls that are coming in, all the stuff that's happened. DISPO can't fucking hide anymore. See, DISPO could hide. And and now they can't hide is really where that's going. So I apologize for that from a business owner standpoint. I I know you're like, Joe, you don't need to apologize, but still as a business owner, know that like behind the scenes, I'm aware of that dispo hole more than mm, more than you know, because that's why we just spent a ton of money to bring it over. Because that's like that's fucking amateur hour. I'm talking with you about trying to build businesses and make big plays, and then we're talking about we can't even get a fucking phone call to route right and someone to get you to the right place. That's fucking amateur hour to me. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing that I'll tell you, because at your presentation, you're like, here's where we're at. Next year, we want to be able to do 8 million. Very easy. If you were just to fix that, because I'm definitely a motivated buyer on some properties. So I'm not going away anytime soon, but I can imagine that other people would just kind of give up at a point in time. And so if you have more buyers on the table, more competition, higher wholesale fees. So in all honesty, I'm excited for you to dial that in, because then you'll easily hit your mark without even changing too much.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's what we're seeing is we're losing on, you do that 150 times, then that starts to add up.
I've also seen, like, obviously Mark is a wholesaler. Back in the day, I think I wholesaled a couple things in the beginning, and it's hard to juggle people. And I remember, having someone come across my plate and being like, I don't know you, you don't exist on the internet. Like, maybe you'll give me this money that you're promising, and maybe you won't perform. And so I'd much rather, for like 20,000 less, I'll go with somebody else, because I know it's going to be less of a headache. And I get that.
For sure. And I think, one of the things I'll do is I'll make a hard intro with Amy as well. Is one of the other things that is running DISPO, and I make that hard intro there. And like, if anything, as a commitment to you to make up for things, is just message me directly. You got it. You want to see something right now? That's not a great process, but message me and I'll make sure that fucking happens.
Yeah.
So what I would actually prefer that you did is I'll connect you personally with Amy, okay? And go through that process, but tip me off to it so that I can go look and see what's happening, right? And that's what I'll do.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, what is it like when you shop a store? What is it? Quiet shop, secret
Yeah,
shopper?
window
Yeah,
shop. Yeah, secret
yeah.
buyer. I don't know. I
I
got
like
you. I know what you're saying.
the other thing that I'm thinking of is I'm because you produce such a large volume of properties, I can totally see that you get an I don't know if I want to blow up your spot, Mark, but Mark just had a deal where it ended up being fraudulent. And so
Mm.
that's kind of devastating. And there were signs along the ways, but you're like, I guess so, I guess so. And then the whole thing crumbles. I wonder if it would be worth your while to have some sort of like buyer pre-qualification, because I don't mind putting in whatever profile I got to put in or submitting things to you so that when I make an offer on something, I'm not just some faceless person who's putting in numbers that may or may not turn out to be reality. So
Amy will qualify. Amy will generally qualify somebody. Like we're pretty strict about that. Of
okay,
like I won't take. We won't work. We're strict about that internally. So I'll bless it. If I call Amy and be like, "Listen, Suzanne's a buyer," that's all the blessing that's needed. But normally Amy would be like, okay, show me your proof of funds, like
yeah,
from your local bank, not from
right.
fucking Gator Lending or Gator fucking whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like don't blow smoke up my ass, right? And so local bank or I need to know the hard money lender. I
Yeah,
won't do business with fucking Bob's hard money that
yeah,
needs to do an appraisal and a walkthrough and 50 pitch like, dude, we're not operating at the right pace. So we're pretty strict there on that, and I hear you, because you're right. Like we won't, we
yeah,
won't sign. I'll take less money. I do take less money on a deal where I I know that I have a few like key buyers that I do business with, and I'll take his money all day over someone that I haven't done business with.
yeah, yeah,
So uh,
yeah.
yeah.
We're fine. So I have a friend who does midterm rentals. He's also, I guess, has new like government contracts. Mark has a property over in Nashua that I think it's the first one that he's taken down for himself, and then maybe going to do like long-term rental, but not long-term rental, but do rentals most likely with a midterm touch to it. So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking to them tonight. They want to buy property. They can do more move-in ready because they need to place people. And then they also are able to get more money from these, I don't know, placement companies because of the work that they do, this whole midterm rental thing. So he was talking to us tonight about saying he has quite a demand in New Hampshire, in southern New Hampshire for single families. And right now he has no inventory for it. So he was talking to us tonight about him even buying stuff because it's the end of the year and all these companies that have done well
Mm-hmm.
so that's one, but I'll introduce you to him. I call him Mustache Man.
Mm-hmm.
I met him with one and now he doesn't have it and it's awkward. But Dylan Svetkik, and he's done great.
Okay.
He travels a little bit talking about midterm rental stuff, has been successful in that department. So I'll connect you too. But we're I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I hate the snow, so I don't really want to be in New England, but Mark loves it and I love Mark. So now I'm in this boat of, I guess we're going to do stuff in New Hampshire and Southern Maine and North Shore of Massachusetts. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something together. And I look forward to doing that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why you like Candy, because she wants to fucking go down south too. And then like me and Mark are like fucking Mark's got the no, Mark don't have it looked like he had a flannel on. But just born and bred, New Englander.
Are you from New England?
Yeah, I'm from Drake. I grew up born in
Okay.
Lowell, grew
Yes,
up in
I know
Drake.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call New Hampshire and Maine the tundra because I never want to do anything up there.
Yeah.
But now I kind of have to embrace it because of this one. Loves freaking snow. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Listen, I don't know. I wasn't big on flips, and then that Sanford thing came, and I didn't even want to do it. But it was, I don't know, for such a low price point and low carrying cost and the profit that we made off it, I'm like, I like it. Like, I'd much rather that than making fucking 50 grand on a $500,000 purchase price with a 750 ARV. That is garbage, you know?
Yeah.
I do. I'm there with you. It's like I love I buy mobiles all day at 50 grand to make 40 grand on them. Like it's my bread and butter. We probably have five of them going right now. Just like and it's easy money that not easy money. I keep my rehab guy busy. I keep the crew busy.
Yeah.
We grab something else. I love the low. I'm terrified of stuff over. Like you won't catch me ever rehabbing something for a million. I'm like scared of that stuff.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Talk to me about rehabbing a mobile home, running a business, and spending ridiculous money on running that business. Great, but rehab one home, I'm just like, that shit gives me anxiety, and that's just that's me.
Is mobile home that much different? My fear of mobile homes is I was like, what is this? Like I put duct tape and super glue everywhere. Like the walls are not even like what do you call it? Dry, whatever,
Yeah,
sheetrock.
they're not drywall. There's some.
I don't know how to do that. It feels very plasticky to me. So haven't touched it for the same reason you probably don't want to do high-end stuff. But
Yeah,
I've I've done it. I was forced to do it at one point in time. It was easy and so I feel comfortable because I did it. But that's also one of the things that next year I have a theme in real estate for every year that I do it. I think this year is coming up on year 5. And I think most likely I'm going to be my model for the year is going to be do more, because the more that I do, the more that I'll feel, whether good or bad about something. And then I'll know for sure instead of just having anxious thoughts of, I don't think, whatever, whatever. And so, yeah, we'll be
yeah,
doing more.
I like it. We're talking the same love language right now. And in business. Don't worry, Mark. In business, in business.
I'm good.
The
Don't worry.
I am on a little bit of a do more type of thing right now. Just say yes. I'm got invited to speak somewhere, and I'm like, fucking A, I gotta travel again. Like, and I was like, you know what? Just say yes. Just go do it.
So I know Pace is maybe not your favorite person. That's totally fine. At one point, he got into the crowd with Tony Robbins, and I remember him saying he had a chance to ask Tony. I think it was Tony. Yeah, he had a chance to ask Tony like one question. He said, I have people pulling on me every 2 seconds, offering me opportunities, this, that, and the other. How do you know which opportunity to say yes to, and how do you know which opportunity to say no to? And he said, and Tony said, you were say yes to everything. You were not put on this earth to say no. Something along the
mhm.
lines of that. But I also get it where I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to pull that off when you're 24 hours in a day? And like, I'm tired. I am tired, But I like that idea of say yes when you can say yes. Or push yourself to say yes until you get to a point where you're like, that's a fuck no. I will never tell
Yeah,
you
right.
that. I'll never do that
Right.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Cool. Joe, very good meeting you. I'll send you back to night time because I know we're over
It's all
your bed.
good. It's all
But
good.
I'll put you. I'll look forward to keeping in touch with Amy. I know you're great following up on things, but I'll send you a note about connecting with Amy, and then I'll put you on an email with Keith and Dylan. They're from the company is called Nova's Nest, but they're the ones that are looking to purchase single-family homes in southern New Hampshire for midterm rentals, since they have a lot of government contracts and needing to place people. They're more on the lines of like moving condition ready and not really like heavy rehabs. But I feel like I've seen your inventory and there's enough there. Plus that's another thing. I have a contractor group in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So it's really
Hmm.
easy for me to get work done. And I give them that as a resource as well.
Yeah, for sure. And could we novate a lot too? So like getting them, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get put out that we're doing behind the scenes, that we're doing a lot of like stuff that is move-in ready. Like
Mm-hmm.
half our rev this year is novation work. So like there's a lot of stuff there that we do that it is different price points. It's
Yep.
not, so I can definitely and knowing that someone was looking for that, like I can target, so I can push and same you guys like Mark, even reach out if you guys need anything up here. Like, dude, New Hampshire and southern Maine is definitely I'm really, really strong there. So you guys need stuff, dude, just reach out.
Yeah, I mean they're also looking for rentals. Not, I mean they don't primarily buy. It sounds like they mainly are looking for like landlords or people who own properties that are looking for rental income that's higher than what it would be long term.
Yeah, for
But
sure. And I just direct mail hits this week. This is the first time I've actually direct mailed everybody in the state of New Hampshire and Massachusetts,
nice.
Worcester and Middlesex County for every single multi up to 50 units. And hoping to leverage off of like because I've been on TV for so long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 'cause I was like, man, everybody gets the fucking multifamily direct mail. Like everybody I know, all my buddies that own stuff. And I'm like, you know what though? the difference is I'm gonna get that old person with me being on TV for so long, and that's
Yeah.
where I'm gonna hook a couple of properties. So we just blocked. They did a duplex today somewhere in Mass. I don't know where, and our inventory should pick up. We just dropped a shit ton of direct mail, and they're cold calling them all right now. So I
Nice.
should get a few things to pop off.
I love it. I honestly, I like, you guys are the most fun to watch. But then when it's time to like connect with somebody, I'm like, where the fuck is the human person? And is this AI? And then that's the other hard part is it's bidding. It's a starting bid. And I'm like, if I have such a hard time just getting in on the first, just to say, hello, my hand is raised, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to bid appropriately. But I know you, it's going to be fine. I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited for you because once that's dialed in, your assignment fees are going to go through the roof, and you're going to have all the things that you had talked about doing 8 million plus. So I'm excited for you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So one last thing I'll leave you with, I want to connect with you on something that might be more novation centric, right? Like I'm an agent. I understand the idea of innovation. I feel like I need to partner with somebody on one or two or something, or bring it to you and you can run it and I can kind of just watch behind the scenes just to wrap my head around it a little bit
Yeah.
further. Because I've not done one. I've tried. I've
Yeah.
like, been wanting to, but yeah.
Everybody wants to do them, and what is there's just a lot of brain damage involved that everybody doesn't understand, and is
Imagine.
really what that comes down to, where like there's this thing that everyone thinks they can novate right now, and like you have to be pretty fucking savvy to it's being a real estate agent times two, because now you're responsible for the clean out and all the different stuff. So
Yeah.
there's, dude, I'm like I'll help you there for sure. The again, like I am the coach to create competition isn't my thing. I'll just put
Yeah.
that out there, right?
Yeah, fair,
Like,
fair.
but helping and getting a couple deals across the board with you, and it's a win-win for the both of us. Like I just, I gotta kind of say that out of the gate so you know who I am and what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
about. Like,
I'm with
but
you.
dude, I'll help you, and we got a win-win going. It'll work out, there, and I'm happy to whatever we gotta do. I just gotta say my piece on it, of
Yeah.
you know.
Say your piece. It'll have to make sense for both of us, obviously. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but I do them and I do them well, and I know how to watch. I know the pitfalls to watch out. Like obviously we got a punch of them going, right? So it's just knowing those pitfalls and like a couple things that I can do with you to because no matter what, this is the pitfall. There it is. Ready? You put in the purchase and sale. Got to be broom clean.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be as is. You go to the back side of the novation. You got to get to B to C to a retail customer. You've told the front end customer you're going to go A to B.
Yeah.
Hey, you can leave everything as is. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, great. And now you go to the new one, B to C, and you say, hey, you're taking it as is, and you cross out broom swept clean. It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. They show
Mm.
up to the walkthrough and be like, well, it was supposed to be broom swept clean. No, look at the contract. It's supposed to be broom swept, not broom swept clean.
Yeah.
And they don't close. Then they don't want to close, right? So, and then it becomes this thing. So there's this whole contractor piece around innovation that gets missed that people don't talk about out there. They're just like, yeah, just let's take fat innovation fees and we'll all be fat, dumb, and rich, right? Um, I'm I'm just more gray, I think. I can't really see it now than anything.
No, it's
From
reflection.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, dude, I'm happy to whatever I gotta do, man. Reach out. I'll help you out there, no problem.
Yeah. Let's keep in touch. I'll send you over anything that comes across that makes
For
sense.
sure. We'll make some money.
Cool.
Joe, thank you for your time always. Tell Candy I say hi.
Will do.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Later.
Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. What's up, Scott? What's up, Keith? What's up, Jace? What's up, Yen? Welcome to the party. So I mentioned in the group, that was Joe. I meant to ask him how to say his last name,
I
but
think it says it Theriault. I
I
would
don't
say
know.
Theriault, but I think it's Theriault.
Yeah. So he runs IPS Cash, which is Inherited Property Solutions. And so that's the acquisition company. And then he also has another company called Discounted Property Solutions. I've been following them because I'm in the hunt to buy another property. And so I've been looking at their stuff quite a bit. Was hard. There were a couple properties that I wanted to move on or go visit, or I thought were great opportunities. But when I was reaching out, it was really hard to connect. And so they have a really good like buyers list. And they sent out a poll saying they were going to do a mastermind. And I was like, fuck it. Oh, so you're going to be in that room? Then I'm going to chase you down. I'm going to make sure you know my fucking name. And I went. It was a lot of fun. It was their first time doing it. He's more blue collar. He tells it like it is. I think he did a what do you call that? Podcast, and he talks about being homeless to being where he's at now. Very successful, has a company trying to do 8 million this year, does flips mobile homes, and he doesn't really like to do a heavy rehab, but he moves quite a bit of property, and he is very well known. He's on TV and he has a bigger operation. So really happy to just know him and connect with him. Mark did a deal with their company a long time ago, and so he recognized Mark when we went, but it was nice. I also met the guy who has his little Brandon buy houses. But it was nice to like meet New Hampshire-ish people from his buyers list, people that wanted to rub elbows with him. So we'll see what happens going forward in the future. But yeah, I think he's great. I think he has great deals. I don't know, Scott, have you seen his stuff? I know you're shopping on market for things. Yeah, you said I have. I know you're on mute.
Yeah, I get stuff all the time from him.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it was nice to see him. I think I've talked to him on the phone once. Now I'm wishing I had gotten on earlier so I could actually have caught more of that and maybe actually talk to him so that I can maybe jump into some of these deals too. Because I see this stuff come through all the time. I'm like, and I look at it and then delete, delete. And I need to stop doing that.
So what do you mean? You want somebody to like, you want to talk a deal out with somebody? Is that what you're saying? Or
no, talk to him more, get to know him more. And because I get a lot of stuff from him, maybe start looking at it more seriously instead of just, you know, this is what it is and just move on to the next one. But actually sit down and look to see if it's something that I want. So that's something that I haven't been doing.
He is a little bit hard to get a hold of. So in the beginning of this call, and you'll see it because I'll put it on YouTube if you want to go back and listen to him talk. He's not really like a social person, even like the mastermind. So he has a wife that powers everything, and she's fabulous, and I love her. And then a lot of his partners, his money partners, also push for this. I don't know. I guess money people do that. The lenders are like, let's get together and schmooze, and it's a way for us to get more money, and let's spend money getting more money. Anyway, so that guy was pushing him to do it too. So it was great. We did MBT Bank, which is a local bank. I talked to them a little bit about construction loans at like 6.5% and fun things like that. We talked to another lender from the Noble Group. They charge about 13%, but and it's like 13% and maybe like no points or something like that, but they can fund a deal within 3 to 4 business days, which is insanity. And so they're actually known to be the people that you call when you need to close a deal and everybody else is like 2 weeks to 3 weeks sort of deal. They can do it pretty goddamn fast. And I guess the way that they do that is they're super private. Like I had asked, they kept being like, we're private money. And I was like, no, you're not. You're fucking hard money. He's like, no, we don't have to do appraisals. We underwrite all our own stuff. We don't have to go get appraisals done because we're not the bank. We just have a rich. That's what they said, girl. That's what they said.
Yeah.
But they have access to 200 million and they lend money that way. So okay, say your piece, honey.
There are a couple of people, you know, out there. There's several, but I'm trying to think. There's a woman in the sub 2 group who's in a similar situation that she's able to get private money because she's got back in with like $100 million or something. I don't know why I can't think of her name right now, but I want to say she's in Rhode Island.
Chase, what were you going to say?
There are so many hard money lenders out there who pretend that they're not hard money so that they don't have to conform to mortgage restrictions and licensure and all other kinds of bullshit. They say, oh no, we're private money, we're private. And it's like, you do like 2 million a month, you're not private money. It's a big thing right now. I see it in Apple, and that's why I stopped going to Apple events, American Association of Private Lenders,
Mhm.
because I would be like, oh yeah, I've originated like $1 million in a year. And they're like, cool, cute.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's not really institutional capital, but like a lot of them are doing note on note financing.
Honestly, this is the part where I'm too stupid to play at this level. I genuinely feel like wholesaling is I don't know why, but when you start in real estate, you're like, first I wholesale because I got no money. And then you start to do flip because you got a little bit of money. And then you're like, I'll be a landlord. And then I think like what is it? The Gandhi level of nirvana that you've made it is you should be a lender. But then I listened to Scott talking about lending stuff and I was like, oh, fuck no. Like, I listened to Jace too be like, oh, I partnered on a deal so that I would have a stronger lending position. And then that was not it.
Well,
That scares the piss out of me. But back in the day, there was this guy that I liked a lot, Eric Sage, I believe, and he was talking about note trading. But he sounded fabulous, and I love that. Freedom Capital, I think, was his company. But Eric Sage, back in the day, this was like maybe Keith, you might remember because I think you're like OG sub two people. Do you remember Eric Sage? Yeah, hang on, you're muted. Oh yeah, go.
The name I do.
Yeah,
The name
yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, very classy white guy, fucking doing. He had a partner, but I remember they brought him in, and I just remember being really blown away by him, and just thinking like, "Oh, lending is where it's at. Once you know what you're doing, then you get to a point where you're like, that's stupid, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be a lender." So to me, lenders, that's how I feel. I'm just like, lenders are so sophisticated, and they're so above us. They don't have to swing hammers. They don't have to, play in the, kiddie pool that has a bunch of urine in it, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the urine pool, slightly warm. Yeah.
you just have to wade through it. Like every time you have to originate a new loan, you're like, oh, okay, got
Mm.
money. Let's go wade in the piss pool.
So, Jace, speaking of, no, there's no transition. I'm just going to jump to wherever I want to jump to. So, you got the Attleboro house. I was talking tonight. I don't know if you are familiar with Dylan Svedkick. That's not even how you say his name. It's like Sevick, but I call him Svedkick.
Okay.
I just throw extra letters in there, and I call him Mustache Man because he had a mustache, but it's gone now. Anyway, the property that Mark was looking to do, Nashua, 2-bedroom, currently 2-bedroom, maybe 700, 800 square feet sort of deal, no garage, fenced in backyard on a main road. We were thinking, when we were looking at DSCR, because we're trying to buy something, hold something, because we're trying to be adults and level up here. Maybe we'll get to the lender level at some point. But we're concerned that this was going to be a non-cash flowing property. And so, Keith, that's what I was talking to you last week, where I was saying, would you do a BRRRR method if you were able to cash out like 50,000, but then not cash flow at all, or have like minimal cash flow? And that's when Keith was like, no, I do $300 per door or bust sort of deal. But so originally we thought 2-bedroom Nashua, about 2,000 for long-term rent. We were talking to Dylan and Keith. Company's called Novanest. They're from like, what is it? Southeast Connecticut. He does a lot of government contracts. He used to be in the military, some version of it. And he was telling us, I said, so what are the numbers? What would it look like to do something with you for Nashua, 2-bedroom? Let's run the prices at 2-bedroom and just see what it's at. He said 3,600.
For a 2-bedroom.
3,600.
Who was his target audience? Like who was midterm renting in Nashua, New Hampshire?
I don't know.
I'm not being shitty. This is a genuine question.
Well, I would wake him up, but he goes to bed at fucking 8.
He said insurance claims, I think. He's been
okay.
Insurance claims, but also he said the other reason why he's more aggressive with stuff is he's done government contracts. That was like his big thing that he wanted. So he's been moving into government contracts. No idea what the fuck that means. But yeah, let me see if I can
He also said if we can get it to be a 3-bedroom, closer to 5,000 per month. For that, yeah, but that's furnished and that's utilities included for both of those numbers, 3,600 to $5,000.
Midterm rentals can make bank. The problem that I see, like, and I'm sure you guys know this, is like these sub-2 students who have never owned or managed a property in their entire fucking lives get told, oh, you can go do midterm rentals and go make a boatload of money. And They don't understand like landlord tenant, like on a long-term rental. They go, oh, it's near a hospital and it's some shitty community hospital with one doctor on nights and no travel nurses and like under severe, like they don't have people that are there. And they're like, oh yeah, it's 18 miles from the hospital and 35 minutes away. Nobody wants to live 35 minutes away from the hospital, but it's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a PMP and take out $80,000 and go midterm this property. And they
She's
have no experience and they have no business doing it.
she's making me relook up the hospitals in Nashua right now. I'm like, all right, what do we got here?
So I have a girlfriend, Alexa Dealey. I don't know if you guys met her. Love her. She's a girl. So of course I'm like, the lesbian in me is like, yeah, scissor sister. Anyway, she's fabulous. She's 35. And she was just talking to me about, I can't remember how many rooms that was, but she got a master lease from the hospital. And her boyfriend, her boyfriend for the last year does midterm rental stuff. Because I was like, how the hell did you net that? So Keith, you should also look into that. I don't know what they're doing in Maine. Maine is a little bit of out there sort of deal, but I know you have a unit that you're turning, maybe something to consider. I can furnish something pretty cheap. And also I'd rather move the furniture myself and not have people freaking doing stupid stuff in and out of my house. So I like the whole furnishing stuff by myself. And also the house is smaller, so it's not like I have to put in, cascading maple, cherry wood, whatever, it's smaller. So yeah, I'll give you the website. So the website is like Nova's Nest, and there's a section that says landlords, and then you just submit a property. So I asked him, I said, well, I just asked Keith if he's still awake, and to jump on if he can. But I asked him, I said, what does it look like working with you? Because initially I was like, hey, what are the numbers for a 2-bed in Nashua? They came back at $3,600 for a 2-bedroom, utilities included. So I was like, oh, so it's kind of like about 2,200, 2,000, 2,200 if we do a long-term rental unfurnished, about 3,000 if we do furnished, and then 3,000 plus the 600 for utilities to include it both. So you get to that 3,600 number. But that makes things so much more better. That's not good grammar, sorry, but it makes the cash flow appear for that property, because that was one of the things that stopped me, where I was like, no, don't do no cash flow properties, because every lender that I've talked to was like, that's fucking stupid. Don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know you. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was gonna say, worst comes to worst, I'd move in there if I had to. So like,
And I was like, that's not a business idea, honey. It's just not. I feel you. And he's like, oh, we can do this for all the things. And I was like, no, you fucking can. I'm not coming there. Okay.
better than not holding. Better than not holding.
So I will say, Suzanne, I know you're just saying that, Suzanne, because you don't want to live in New Hampshire. And I can't say I blame you. However,
yeah.
if you guys are planning on living there for a year, you probably are able to get better loan terms. Possibly, I don't know what your income situation looks like, but rather than DSCRing it, you could do. I mean, if you got to put down 20% anyways, you're better off doing a conventional type of loan.
Yeah, I think where I'm at is I can't do conventional right now. I think after January I'll be able to tie because I was W-2 last year, so I kind of screwed myself. So I think after I file taxes, I can do that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking what I would do is I would take hard money, because I only need to put 10% down for the hard money, renovate it, and then I would refinance into DSCR. And I have numbers from one lender. I don't know. I get like $500, and then they can refinance out the hard money or something.
The other thing you guys need to just think about is, with a DSCR lender, not all of them will consider midterm rents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just need to find someone that does it and gets it. Or maybe put a master lease and talk to your broker and see what they want you to do. You can probably you can probably make that. You can probably make it all day if you know what you're doing and it's a good target property for. If he's doing insurance claims, he knows how to navigate that. I'm talking about these guys.
So I asked him, I was like, so what does it look like working with you?
Yeah.
Let me go back. And they were like, oh, we'll just do it for you. And I said, what, how much does it cost? Is it like 10%, 20% management fee? He goes, no, you tell us where you need to be at. And then we get paid, kind of like a wholesale deal. Tell us your purchase price. We'll pay you that. And then we put our fee on top of that. We get paid from the company. So I told him, I was like, get your ass in here. I got too many questions for this. But yeah, so he was like, he's like, we could, Depends on what you would be looking for directly. If you want full management, that's a bit different, but we can market your property to our businesses. And if there is a need, then you tell me your price and you don't pay us anything. We get paid by the companies directly. And then later on, I said, said we could co-host full-time management, or number 3, market. And if there's a need, you get something. And then he said, honestly, I want more properties in Southern New Hampshire. We probably add 3 to 5 a month. And there's a huge lack of inventory for single family homes. And I've seen him before, like put out something where he's like, hey, is there something in this area? And usually a lot of dogs. And they're looking for a yard, something fenced in. They're looking for stuff. So Keith, I would encourage you to do it. I'll post the link to their website. You just submit a form and he'll come back to you within less than 20, like an hour, and he'll tell you like what your range could be. So I would tell you to experiment a little if you're willing to experiment. If you have a unit that you want to turn over, keep in mind midterm is not a year contract. And so your placement or your booking can be a couple months or, more than that if you wanted to extend it. The other thing that I think was interesting is I started talking to him about this because I was doing this like TV show in Boston, and they had an STR guy and an MTR guy at the same time. And I think the winning strategy is actually to do both, right? So you do your midterm rental. It's going to be a chunky, 6 months, I don't know how long, but like 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. And then if you have a gap in between, to then open it up for maybe short-term rental, especially if you have it furnished. But they're looking for everything, furnished, unfurnished. People have needs, and all he does is place them. Yeah. Place them and possibly could do more, because I was like, honestly, for the first booking, I don't know what the F I'm doing. I'd much rather you take care of everything, but just like, I need to know this number for cash flow. So what is it going to cost? And he goes, nothing. And I was like, amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Scott and Keith, I know you guys want to talk about Collins Mills.
Yeah.
Do you want to take lead, Scott?
Yeah. Because Keith needs to know what what my fee would be for being a credit partner.
Mm-hmm.
To see if it works or not. So, generally for something like this, I would ask for 40% of the profit. But for this property, I wouldn't want to do that with you. In one term, it seems like an awful lot of money for being just a credit partner on what could potentially be a really profitable deal. And it'd be great for me to make all that, but I don't feel like I need to, because I'm not doing the work on there. The flip side of it is I do put my credit out there. It is out there. It is at risk. And if something were to go wrong, my name is on the loan. And if it goes to foreclosure, it becomes my responsibility, and it tanks my credit, which over the long term could, lose me millions. And so I really do actually have a lot at risk, in theory, but I don't think I have a lot at risk, with you on the deal. So rather than asking, for 40% of the profit, I would be comfortable with doing, something in the area of, $30,000, as a credit partner on that.
Credit partner is not only your credit, but you're also getting the money for the project.
Well, no, I'm only the credit sponsor.
Okay.
So my name is on the loan. My credit score is what's getting the loan. And again, if something goes bad and the loan goes bad, it's on me. It's not on anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that if it's a bankruptcy, that can last for 7 years. I'm responsible for the loan, and so there's a lot at risk doing a loan sponsorship. But I've done it with a bad person. I won't repeat that. And I haven't worked with you, Keith, but I know Suzanne is familiar with you, and she trusts you, and everything I've seen so far is been up and standing, and you're upfront and transparent, and all of that stuff is really important. So I'm definitely willing to do it with you if you think, that would be beneficial, in this situation. But I was also thinking too, I know you're trying to build a duplex, and that's something else that I could help you with. Not only with this property, but the duplex or maybe even future things, having access to good credit with a good credit partner, you might actually be able to start expanding maybe more than you thought you might be able to. So that would be something to think about too.
Yeah. I'll have to think about it. We still don't know. I mean, we still don't know about the loan or anything. I mean, what's, because what was presented there's not enough money there to do anything with. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I got to kind of see all the numbers. I've been chasing I got 2 different people I'm talking with right now myself.
Sure.
So we'll I'll just have to see. Do you have any other numbers, with what I need, with the 130 and either the 60 or 70, the 190 or the 200, whichever.
As far as what we do a loan for?
Yeah.
Like
because
a
that-
term sheet, I'm guessing.
Because the loan that you showed me on has nothing, is nowhere near what I need to do the property with. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was only like $168,000 or whatever, and by the time you pay everything, there was only like 30,000 left or something like that, whatever it was.
Yeah, so I thought we left it last time, to leave things as they were. But if you have a number that you need, I can go back and I can have it revised, to whatever number you think it is, and he'll give us a new term sheet.
Well, the number is I need 130 to buy it, and
Yep.
I need 60 to rehab it.
Yep.
It'd be nice to get 70, just around 200, but I mean, if I don't use it all, I don't use it all. You know what I mean? But it's there if need be, which I don't think so. But
so, yeah, okay. Why don't you shoot me the numbers that you would want to be asking for a mortgage, for the deal,
yeah.
Purchase price, and rehab and stuff, and I'll get a new term sheet from them. I think the way it would end up looking would be the purchase would still look like it was, the 87.4, and then the rehab is going to be kind of that spread. And then I think, like we were talking last time, you can recover the fees through the draws, through the process of the project to get everybody paid.
Right, but I got to have enough to cover everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody wants to
Right.
get paid, and
Yeah.
I want to pay everybody before they have to wait to sell the house to pay.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I think it's built in. So if you're estimating 60 to 70 for your rehab budget and your purchase price is 130, the 130 includes all those invoices to get you to that 130 number. One of the other conversations that Mark and I have been having with people is about the whole assignment fees. Because some lenders don't want to include wholesale assignment fees into lending whatever. So a couple that we talked to, so the one that I talked to, which is Noble Group, is the one that Joe works with. They're the ones that I felt were expensive at like 13% per month. They don't give there's children here. They don't give a flying duck about how much fees are. Their whole thing is they have certain requirements. And actually I got you, girl. I copied they gave me a sheet that I walked with, but they said something to the effect of whatever the ARV is, they will lend up a maximum of 80% of that ARV. So they'll do no more than that. But they said, and they're very good at their own comping. They don't do the appraisals, but I have a list of lenders that I've got stuff from because my next project, Brandy Brow, I've had a lot of time to wait for it. And so I started shopping lenders. So I think whatever I have now is about 6. And then I'm going to add in Scott, your guy, Brad. Is that his name?
Right.
I'm going to add in Brad, and then I'm also going to add in the Noble Group guys to see how everybody compares. But then the other thing that I've been looking at that I wasn't looking at before is assignment fees. Can they be included? Are they willing to give you money? Obviously, you can inflate the rehab budget. So that's, however you slice it, you're still going to get it. But I think it's a lot easier just to have everything clean and be X, Y, and Z. But I can definitely share that list with you, my little lenders list. I'm probably going to PISS some people off because sometimes lenders will give me a list or they'll give me a term sheet and not want to be on blast because they gave me a certain deal. They don't want to offer that to other people. Or now you can see apples to apples, who is crazy expensive compared to others. And so that's kind of embarrassing, but it's my group and I can do what I want with it. If you don't like it, you can leave. Goodbye. But yeah, so I have some lenders. The one that I like right now is Mark. So Backflip, and they did stuff in Maine, and Maine has historically been the one state that a lot of my lenders I talk to, they're like, no, we don't do that. There's nobody who works out there to do an appraisal, so we're not going to give you money out there. But I was surprised. Backflip, whatever, is like an online one. There's no broker fees because you're direct with the bank.
But not to interrupt, but the other thing you got to ask is, I've run into with lenders, is if they do Maine, sometimes they only go as far as Portland. They won't come north. You know what I mean? So Maine doesn't mean Maine.
Yeah, gotcha.
I've asked for Bangor. I had one that would do Augusta. You know what I mean? But most of them are Portland bound. And so.
So what I heard, Suzanne, is I need to spend the summers in Maine and have an appraiser business.
Yeah, girl. Well, listen. So I wasn't a fan of Maine because the guy who stole from me was from there, and I just kind of poo-pooed the whole place. And I used to call it the tundra and just poop on it left and right.
Beautiful.
Mark did his first flip out there. He loves Maine. And then he did his first flip out there. And it kind of makes me jealous because he's like, you spent $500,000 on your house and made like 50,000. And I spent 160 on my house and made more than 50,000. And I'm like, okay, that hurts. I get it. So yeah, search it. But everything has its pluses and minuses. Kind of harder to get labor out there, but like, it's so cheap. I mean, 160,000 is essentially free, girl math. So yeah.
Did you just say girl math?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I feel. I'm like, what, 100,000? Essentially, I'm getting paid to buy it. It's so cheap. Freaking Newton is like 1.7 for trash. I went to California with my siblings, San Francisco. I swear, like 10 years ago, when I was like looking into real estate stuff, literally a tear down, it looked like a 3-family teardown on Mark calls it a postage stamp size lot, but literally the littlest amount of land that you could possibly have to even put something on, complete teardown. And they were asking for over $1 million on it, cash. Yeah. And I'm like, this is bananas. How do you even do rent control when I don't even know? I don't know. Yeah. And now everybody's leaving Silicon Valley anyway. So good luck to you.
Mark, I don't know what your situation is, but you're talking about, you sounds like you're making some money this year and stuff, and you don't have a W-2 no more. You're going to all 1099 and stuff like that. You might want to get a hold of an accountant because you might have to buy something. You might have to buy a duplex, another a house or whatever. Sell it next year if you wanted to, but you may have to buy something this year because you need that accelerated depreciation to oust your taxes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Because last year I screwed up because I had a big job, earthwork job and stuff like that. I made almost $500,000 on a stupid thing like that.
Nice.
Man, oh man, I thought it was nice, but my accountant tried all he could do, and he come up to me after he handed me my taxes. He said, "Keith, you can't go to work no more. Stay in real estate, buy stuff." He says, "Do not work." You know what I mean? I ended up paying $46,000 in taxes.
Yeah.
Couldn't get rid of them.
Mark paid more. I think he pays too much for taxes, and that's a whole nother beef that I have with him. And so definitely, I think on his list of things to do is talk to a CPA.
Yeah. Buy something. That accelerated depreciation is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the other thing too, you guys. Like, if you're doing short-term rentals and you are self-managing, there are tax advantages for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already probably claiming rats, but like, there's a short-term rental loophole where you can claim it if you're not, I'm not a CPA.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
play one on TV, but
Okay.
Nothing-
Allegedly.
That
I
might
heard
be that house. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
It's a great little house. I know he wants it. I've been there before where if you don't, he talks about if he doesn't get it, then it's going to be one of those things he looks back on and, and it's so stinking cute and the neighborhood is awesome. And then after talking to, there's a couple of really good things. We talked to the listing agent because there's a literally similar exact build house next door, literally next door. But this one is on a main road and the other one is on a little whatever, but they're next door side by side. That one, they ended up, and the other great thing is this has a second floor that's not been developed at all. Standing room height, you could easily put a third bedroom in there. And so that's what the next house did. I think they sold last year for like high 400s, like 478 maybe. And that's a 3-bedroom in 2024. The only difference is they're on a side street and they have a 1-car garage. So he has it for a great price. And I think the answer is to run the play. I also like the idea, Mark, of you having it maybe on your own so that you can use all of that depreciation for you. This year, I'm going to roll in this house into my LLC. And so at that point, I can use whatever bonus depreciation and blah, blah, blah. So this one is my way out this year, but I think you might need one underneath your belt. Then again, that's if the seller moves out on time.
If the seller moves out on time, yeah, that makes sense. We'll see. Something's gonna happen with it. My inspection period ends, I think, end of day Monday, maybe this Friday, but I think next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I have one buyer interested at a $30K fee.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 buyers I walked it with are not interested. Yeah.
No, I like it. Run the play. Cool. What has everybody else been up to, Keith?
Digging, trying to help my buddy get sewer and water in.
So you want to stay out of that hole, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't miss those days.
I'm curious, Keith, how much do you pay your bookkeeper? Your bookkeeper is your CPA or no?
No. I get my bookkeeper. I pay her $35 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin just does stuff. I don't know what it cost me. 1,200 for each company last year, something like that. Whatever, 1,400. So it's a couple thousand. 2,200, something like that.
Nice. No, that's good. One of the questions that we had, Mark and I, were like, we know to a certain extent, everybody's like, buy real estate, it can help you. And I'm like, I don't know how much it could help. Like, how do you even find a good CPA that like, I don't know. Everybody, go ahead.
Make sure your CPA invests in real estate.
Yeah.
Because then they're up on all the laws. Mine's big time investor. Got all kinds of real estate he owns.
How did you find Justin?
Going to meetups, real estate meetups.
Nice.
Any other qualifiers when picking a CPA?
I make sure that they're actually a CPA, that they have that like CPA designation and they're not a tax preparer or like something else. Also my CPA, like I just switched recently and he told me this because I asked him about audit protection, which is something previous CPAs had sold me on as an upsell. And he's like, if I am putting my name that I prepared a return, I have to defend it in an audit.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's not an upsell. That's just,
that's intrinsic in him. Yeah. It's just an invoice for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that sounds like dumb, but actually make sure they're a CPA and you're not talking to your brother's cousin's CPA.
Yeah. Why did you change your CPA from last time to this time?
I've actually switched twice in the last 5 years. The first time my husband started working in Dubai. So we had foreign service premiums and I needed somebody who understood, or foreign service tax credits. And I needed somebody who understood that because the guy who we were using was great. and was actually great for real estate, but I just like was a little iffy on that, especially because this company was doing squirrely shit, allegedly. And then I switched away to somebody else when he stopped working in Dubai, and communication was just because they weren't as strong in real estate as I would have hoped. They were great for the foreign service premium, but they weren't creative. Like they wouldn't tell me, like Keith said, to go buy something, right? Like, and I really needed that strategy aspect. And then they could help
Is it
me.
me?
What's that? Oh,
I think it's me. I think I have like that. It says unstable network connection. I think it's me.
okay.
Oh,
They wouldn't be proactive with me, Suzanne. Like they wouldn't say, hey, go buy this. They didn't really offer a strategy. They just helped me maximize kind of what I had with what I had. And then
Yeah.
the last one I had just was communicate. The one I switched to most recently, the communication, or before the one I have now, the communication was just freaking terrible.
Mm.
And I'm like,
How
I'm
much are
not
you paying a
emailing you
CPA?
3 times.
Yeah. How much do you pay a CPA? So I think Keith said you were paying like 1,200 to 1,400 per business or per return, I guess, that you did with your guy Justin. Jace, do you remember how much you're paying yours?
I think it works out to around the same, maybe a little bit less, because I have a few entities that are active.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Suzanne, the Eisenhowers had their CPA on a sub 2 call. I don't know, maybe 4 months ago or so, and they're thrilled with her. And she sounded really great. But I reached out to her, and it took a little bit to finally connect with her. And she
Yeah.
asked me to send my last year's tax returns so she could take a look at them and see if we'd be a good fit. So I sent the returns to her office 2 months ago.
Mm.
I haven't heard a thing. So
Oh no.
I won't be going there.
Scott, why were the Eisenhowers happy with her? Like, what were they saying?
She's an investor, and she got them organized and figured out a business plan, and they started following that, and they've they've achieved success for whatever that is for them, and so they're really happy with her.
Okay.
I'm with you, Scott. Like if I can't get an email back the first or second time, I'm done. Like I
Yeah.
I don't want to call you and send bat signals.
Yeah.
Even in the lending world, right? With our borrowers, if they're not talking to you, it's a problem.
Mhm. I had to do that shit at BP. There's a reason I don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So going back, Keith, what'd you do this week? So you did more earthwork. Last time we talked, you had a property that was on the market for like 5 days or something like that. The one I think Anna lives on. How are you doing with that one?
I don't think it's sold yet. I don't know. I can talk to my agent. I haven't talked to her. I don't bug her. If they don't start doing something next week, I'll have to go down or something, drop it a little bit in price, get some action going or something.
Yeah. You think it's too high, or why is it not moving?
I don't know.
Not sure.
I don't know. There's a few nice properties, of course, when I put mine on. Before there wasn't anything really new, you know what I mean? But now there's these, Andrew, my realtor, she's got like when I put mine on, she had 19 properties up in her lap. And she's a good girl. She sells a lot of properties. She does a good job. But it just it is what it is. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
What's going on with the Cape that you were turning into the Central Colonial?
Now it's all tripod roofs on. Finishing demoing their grow rooms downstairs and stuff this past weekend, and cleaning it out and stuff. Just plugging along on it.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna tear some more walls out and set a couple of beams inside. They had beams going across, holding the floor that was sticking down in the floor, down in the room for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I'm putting them all up inside, so the fifth ceiling's all flat and stuff, and
Nice.
just typical old house. Just gotta, do all the stupid little things,
I like it. Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you, for Collins Mills, where are you at with Collins Mills? I just sent you guys, Seth called me tonight. I was at dinner before, but I forwarded you the heirs. They're calling it like the sale of the heirs, or let me just not confuse you guys. Oh boy.
Was it email or was it text?
Yeah. So email, hello, please see attached heir payoff approval letter from HUD. Please disregard the section of this letter that mentions HUD 1 and closing costs, as this document is used for both short sales and heir payoffs. This section does not apply to heir payoffs. HUD 1 settlement statements and closing costs are not a part of the heir payoff process. Please note that only a cashier's check or certified funds are acceptable methods of payment. All other methods will be returned. The check must be made payable to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Please include your load number on your check, FHA number. Your method of payment should be mailed to CompuLink, blah, blah, blah. All funds must be received at the CompuLink office by close of business 45 days from the date listed on the approval letter. Any funds received in excess of the payoff amount will be returned to the issuer of the check. We do not accept bank wire transfers. It's from Haley. And then when I open up the letter, they're asking for the $87,400. And then the date of this letter is September 23rd. So that's today. So you got 45 days from today to close.
Now, you haven't talked to anybody, so you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like.
Seth.
What's that?
I got it from Seth. So Seth gets things and then he forwards it over to me. And so this was the newest thing that I got from Seth just today.
So you haven't been able to talk to anybody to find out, like, if he were to put a mechanics lien on there, if that cost could be included on the HUD.
Right.
Ideally, it would be, because that makes it easier for the purchase and then the amount of money for the rehab.
According to Seth, that's a yes. But again, and I'm like, Seth, give me something. The other thing that we also have to do is, so did you get my last update from you guys? I had called into Jill, I think her name is.
Yeah.
And so Keith, the question that we have is, how big is the goddamn piece of land and what the hell is on the land? Right now there's a property, and obviously we're hoping for the detached garage, but nobody knows. From what we could tell, they go by the deeds, and that doesn't say much. It just says like 300 by 65 feet and blah, 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 300 by 200 feet. And then they added 300 by 65 feet, and then they subtracted 300 by 30 feet. So it's a little bit confusing. And so the last email I sent was that if you really want to know what's on that piece of property, there is some sort of survey that can be done. And I think the one that can be done is like $450. Somebody will come out and show. So it's some sort of mortgage survey that's done to show you what is the property, where is the house on the property, and then if there are any additional structures, what that looks like. But it's all drawn out at that point. How the hell you find that from town hall? Fucking, I don't think that's happening. And so that's what she and I talked about. I was like, if we do that, I think it takes like 10 days to get the turnaround time on it. So I had talked to her about getting an extension, because right now I think we're supposed to close in like 5 days. So we're probably going to have to do an extension anyway, which is great that we got the approval letter today, because it says 45 days from today is when we have to close anyway.
Is seller refusing to sign a third-party authorization form, or?
No, I think he's okay with that.
What?
I think he's okay with that.
I would get that. Like, do not rely on him. Don't do it. It's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to hear it from the horse's mouth, or else it didn't happen.
All right.
Seriously though, it's
That's
like
if
that was
they'll
the
even,
first
that's if
thing.
they'll even respond.
What?
That's if they'll even respond.
Who?
HUD or CompuLink.
They'll respond. Yeah, they should.
Yeah. All right, I'll get that done. Because we do have a couple of other questions, I think, from last time, where we were like, what's the seasoning period? Can we have the mechanics lien? Some other questions I can't remember, but yeah, that's good.
I mean, yeah, with situations like this, even one day of seller fucking around and not being available, like screws everything up, you know?
He's been great. So like, sorry. He like called, texted, Facebook Messengered, emailed me. And so I'm like, God damn, like
He's looking for a job.
left me a voice message. Dude, yes, go get him. He works at a car wash
Car wash.
place. So like all his emails are like happy scrubby bubbles. And I'm just like, thanks, Seth. Are you allowed to do this? You know what I mean? This is your personal shit on your company, whatever. But yeah, I'll give you his number. Maybe you don't want his number. He'll call you all the time. But yeah, so I'll send out an update now that I got that letter tonight. I'll send an update to title. Most likely we'll do an extension. So update title, do the extension, and then third party approval form. And then Keith, what do you think about doing that survey? I mean, technically we could put it back on Seth to do it. Technically, I guess the buyer's supposed to do it, but we could put that cost or build that cost into what Seth is getting. Seth asked for 20,000. Initially, when the contract was signed, we had understood 15, and then in person, he was talking about 20,000. I don't know how we want to play that. I mean, technically that 15,000 is built into the 130. It would just mean less for the wholesalers, I guess. But another way that we could do that is originally when he presented the property, he said it was 3 acres. And we're finding out, at least by my calculations and the title guy's calculations, it's 1.6 acres and not 3. So there's a part of me that says, and I had a conversation with him before where he was like, so what's going to happen if we do this? And I'm like, well, I understood it as this, and I heard what you said in person, but when we signed, that was what I knew to be true. And I think I can go back and tell him, listen, it's not 3 acres like you said it was. So even the 15 is hard to get for you. So I think at a minimum, we can stay at 15 and not go to 20. But yeah, so I can have that conversation with him when that time comes. Bye, Yan.
Later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that letter, Suzanne. So Keith and Suzanne,
sorry, Keith, if you want to unmute, because you said something, but it was muted. I'm sorry. So go ahead, Scott. It's good to have that letter.
It's good to have that letter because now we know the clock is ticking for the 45 days.
Yeah.
I did text you, Suzanne and Keith, what it seems like I should be asking Brad for financing. If you think if that looks right, Keith, then I'll reach out to him tomorrow and get a revised term sheet based on those numbers.
So the 87,400 plus the 112 gets us to about 200,000. And I think that's, Keith, where you're at right now is like kind of like 130 purchase price and then 60 to 70 for rehab. So it's about a $200,000 borrow. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
Okay. And so for me, I'll do the third party approval with Seth. I'll update title with all the things that I got from Seth tonight. I'll probably have to call that man back. And then, third party, and then the update. And what else am I going to do?
Do you have a property card? Have you pulled a property card on that?
Scott, I think we do have. I think we pulled whatever we could pull from that.
Yeah,
to be honest, I don't think there is a property card because I think Maine. No offense, I'm going to shit on Maine real fast, but like is fucking 18th century BC. You know, they have like 0 things online. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, in this case, it actually is West Gardner that doesn't have a tax card. West Gardner does the taxes based on the deed, and in this case, the deed that they're doing the taxes on is the deed for the primary residence. It doesn't even include that second deed. Because I guess it's an unincorporated town, so it's not even part of Gardner. It's its own little thing. So yeah, I don't think there's a specific tax card on it.
What would the tax card do for you, Keith?
No, usually they have dimensions and stuff on it.
Yeah. anytime that we've called in, and when I talked to title was like, the way that we do things here is we go by the deed, whatever the deed says, that's what we do. But it's that thing that where it's like Northwest Cornerly, blah, 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 go 300 paces this way and 200 paces that way. And so when we did the math out that day, all their dimensions of each of the 3 parcels, because there were 3 deeds altogether that we saw. The original one was 300 by 200. Then they did a 300 by 65, and then they what is it? What do you call conveyed out? They removed out 300 by 30 feet. And so we said, okay, our dimensions are 200 plus 65 minus 30 gives me 235. But 300 by 235, what do I get? Is the detached garage included on it? And based off those numbers, it's only 1.6 acres at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the last email that I sent, so I'll send another email so it can be top of your inbox with like the letter that I have from Seth. You'll see in my last email that I said, okay, I talked to Jill. Technically she's overdue. It's Tuesday and they were supposed to have the final title report back. So I'll poke her for the final title report. But that's what we talked about is I talked with Jill. She said that I would get some sort of final review back. And if we really wanted to confirm where the house is on the property and if the detached garage is included or not included, at that point in time, the cheapest way to do it would be to do some sort of mortgage survey. And then obviously you could do the full blown 6,000, 8,000 fucking survey. Yeah.
One thing that might be helpful, unless they got it like resurveyed, if it's been 3 lots and one of them was just removed, if any of the deeds reference the plans, look up the book in the plan, because then you might be able to see the original surveyor's plans for like how it was chopped up, and then you can start to, if you can find that plan, it'll be easier to see potentially what isn't there anymore.
Even when you go to the online surveying, you have to go to the, what county is that in? I don't remember. Anyway, you have to go to the county map, and unfortunately the county map doesn't even do approximate land sizes and dimensions and shapes. Here's the address, and it doesn't give you much more information beyond that. So the deeds themselves have all the information at this point.
Did you try any other GIS or parcel viewers? There's like Regrid, which if you don't pay for it, you can't get too much information, but at least you can see, usually you can see lot lines.
So I think from what I tried, this is West Gardner, whatever. Gardner has it. West Gardner does not have it.
Right.
Well, that's town specific ones, and then they have like third party. So so looking into it, like Main Digital Parcel Viewer, ARC GIS Online, that's kind of like a third party one, and then Regrid is like a for-profit third party one. Like you can rent monthly subscriptions from them. I don't know. I'm kind of pulling them up now. I don't know if I'll find anything. What's the address? 79?
259 Collins with an S Mills Road, West Gardiner, Gardner.
Gardner.
Okay, what's with the extra I though? Don't put in an I if you don't want me to say it.
Oh, that's right. It's Gardner. Yeah. Oh, it's
Gardner. So what does that timeline look for you, Keith? If we have 45 days from today to close it, I don't want to math right now, but like November-ish. Originally you were looking for mid-October, I think, for your guy.
I'm gonna get a hold of my guy there this weekend and see if I gotta meet him down there one more time, break in one more time, and kind of go through and just look at it and just get some figures from him.
I think in all honesty, you are breaking in every time, because when I talked to Seth said that I guess HUD had, what do you call that? Secured the property, winterized the property. And so all he's doing is breaking into the property himself. So,
there's There's no deadbolts, just a card.
Yeah, whatever day you're going, you can let me know, and I'll just let him know if there's a way for him to open it up. He knows a lot about that property because, again, at one point he wanted to live there, and so he was doing work there. I actually have a list of all the things he did do to the property. Yeah, so like he was paying taxes and then doing some improvements, so I can send that over to you so you can just see, you know, okay, this is what he was doing. Whether or not he did it well, who knows, but I can give you that. Okay.
As far as closing goes, you know, if we go this route, he can close in 3 to 5 days as well. Once he has all the information he needs, he can close like that.
Yeah. Oh, so he's another 3 to 5 day closing guy. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I knew about that. Back in the day, I was so stupid, you know.
He can finance short-term rentals too. I don't imagine he couldn't do midterms if he's doing short-term.
I mean, I don't know how much people are making on short-term rentals, but midterm sounds amazing. Fucking ridiculous money. Ridiculous money.
Going that route, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Furnished. Go ahead, Jace. Say your piece. You're like winding up. I can feel the energy coming. Go ahead. Lay it on me, girl.
Okay, so I just got back from Nantucket, and like really, I realized that that place is fake and it's not real, and like all the other bullshit. However,
It's still nice.
it's super nice, yeah. My sister's mother-in-law, they rented a place that was $30,000 a week during the high season.
So I when I was doing construction with our family business, we did work in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh God.
And we were working on a property where they had 3 tiered ponds on the property. So there's a higher one, a lower one. It went underneath the brook went underneath the driveway. Then there was one on the other side of the driveway. Our job was to clean them out and kind of reshape them. It was an old stone house. It had 4-foot thick stone walls, you know, house walls. One of the weeks that we were there working on the ponds, the family went. They may have gone to Nantucket for a week. No, they rented a yacht. They rented a yacht at $100,000 a week, and they were delivered. The wife and the kids were delivered from the yacht to the house on a helicopter.
Nice.
Just mind-blowing amounts of money.
Yeah.
I think the wife was the daughter of like the founder of a Swedish shipping company. And the husband, I think, is like a part owner in the ferry that goes out to Ellis Island and stuff. And he owns cafeterias and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, the stuff is just, it's crazy.
I know there are people who are making money. I feel like they're doing it in like the luxury space, or they're just doing it in these super solid markets where they're also banking on appreciation. I'm in a lot of like short-term rental for sale groups, and there's people that have been on market like 130, 200 days, and now they're saying, oh, well, we'll sell subject to, and they don't even cash flow with the 2.25% interest rate that they bought it with in 2021.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure they did when they bought it, right? Like when nobody could go to Europe and stuff, but I'm not going to pay $2,500 to go chill in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, when I could go to Europe for like to Italy for half that and eat fucking cannolis.
Yeah.
Or for double that, whatever. Yeah.
I don't want to get into politics, but I have conversations about like with my friends all the time about like the whole like Israeli and like, I think the new thing that I heard was Jeffrey Epstein really wasn't a pedophile. He was like brokering blackmail. And so like some country would pay him buku bucks and be like, hey, we need some dirt on the royal family, go get somebody. And then he would have his fancy parties and get blackmail dirt on him. Anyway, I keep hearing all these things and I'm just like, I'm so tired of I'm too stupid. I think I'm just too stupid to like keep up with all the power plays and the money and whatever. Like, I think a lot of my friends have been talking about, they're like, listen, even Mark is trying to talk to me about canning food and like living in the forest. Okay,
It's
that's not
just because he
exactly
wants
what
to
he
live in
said.
Maine,
That's
Suzanne.
not exactly what he said, but like
Oh,
living
the
off grid.
homestead, okay? It's a
Yeah.
Homestead.
Listen, a lot of my friends are
slight
doing
prepper
that,
tendencies.
where they're like, we need to disconnect and get off the grid and run away, and the government is bad. And I feel that because I can't keep up with all this money, all these people that make money, all the little, it's too much remembering everybody and freaking political powers, and this person did this and that person did that, and money and power. I'm stressed out. Leave me alone. Yeah. Let me go stare at a sunset. Let me stare at the sun for a minute and just forget about everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that we need for Collins Mills? I'll send updates, so third-party approval and update title, and most likely move towards the extension because we're going to need one anyway. Scott, you're going to go back to Brad and refresh numbers, and then I'm also going to share my lenders list, and we'll pick the winner from there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Any final words, Keith, on Collins Mills?
No, I'm just I can do some research myself. I haven't really had time, well, not make time for anything, but I haven't made time to kind of research it myself to see. I'd really like to know if that other, really like to have that other building be part of that.
That'd be a sweet deal for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, only one way to know right now, according to Jill, which is to get the mortgage survey.
Yeah.
450, she can order it, blah, blah, blah. Something to consider. Scott, any other words about Collins Mills, apart from the update I'll send out, the extension, and the third party?
I don't think so. It's good to see that update, having that third party authorization so we can actually talk to CompuLink or HUD, I think will help to kind of solidify our understanding of what we can do. And it will really be important, if Seth can add his fee that we can pay at closing, that makes the financing more palatable, I think.
Yeah. Jace, what have you been up to this week? Let's look in your underwear drawer now.
I spoke at Notorious. Well, I was at Notorious Monday, Tuesday, which is an event for women in mortgage. I told them all that investors were not a bunch of assholes and they should work with them. So hopefully that opens up a little bit more funding for us and maybe some people to add to your spreadsheet. Suzanne, I'll keep you posted. A lot of those ladies mostly work with like traditional home buyers. And I'm like, look, your average home buyer buys a home, every 7 to 10 years. And half of them don't remember their realtors, never mind like their loan officer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Suzanne, like how often are you guys buying houses right now?
Yeah. Multiple times throughout the year. Yeah. And it's a lot less emotional instead of being like, yeah.
I hate the color of the kitchen and they're taking their framed picture of their family dog. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was that was a really, really good event. I don't love doing a lot of like pure educational speaking because I feel like I was in an after lunch spot and I feel like sometimes
The sleepies.
yeah, it's just yeah. So, but that was I tried to just keep it like basic, and then like talk to me if this is something that you want to learn how to do. And then I have made a few connections with like women who are already doing this. I like going to this event because I get a lot of requests for home buyers who have weird shit. And they're like, oh, I'll just use private money, but I don't want to do their loans because they're going to live there. So then I refer them all out to people who I know are really smart, who love the weird homebuyery stuff. And yeah, I've made some just really good connections. I had one partner I did a loan for out of this group last year. I met her last year, did a loan for her, and I think I made 3K in like 3 weeks. So I love that. Love it,
Good.
love it, love it.
I would really
and then
go ahead. Sorry.
nope, I'm gonna change gears. So
No, you go ahead because you were on a thing. Do your thing.
And then I got back from Nantucket. I flew straight from Austin, or well, I drove all night from Austin to Houston and then left at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to Nantucket and did not go to the beach, but I looked at a lot of very cool houses and venues and all kinds of things.
What a minute, you were looking at venues in Nantucket?
I mean, the venue that my sister got married at, was I looking at
Oh,
everything about it? Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could not afford to buy it. Like, there are houses there that sell for $36 million, Suzanne, never mind like a freaking wedding venue.
The last time I was ever anything with Nantucket, I worked for Tesla, and Nantucket had a problem with their electricity, and they were like, but their two options was like to dig
Yeah.
a whole like extension cable from the mainland over to Nantucket, or just build their own battery pack with a whole bunch of solar. And it was like hundreds of million, I don't even know how much money, but ridiculous buku bucks. And they were like, yeah, we're going to spend it because it's like a fraction of the price to like dredge or dig this huge extension cord underneath the ground. And then they're more, frou-frou liberals. Clean energy, la la. Yeah. But yeah, crazy. Good for them. Good for them. Too much for me.
Yeah.
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 Can you look into midterm rentals? Would you mind? And Keith, would you also mind looking into midterm rentals? Just because I'm curious what they could do for you. It might not be the winning strategy, but it's one thing that I looked into and I was impressed by. And I'm just kind of curious that if you were to, so it's a link, right, that you submit, like, this is the property I have. And then they'll write you back with a quote where they're like, if it's furnished and you pay for utilities, this is the price. So I'm just kind of curious. I know you bought your property and you put people into it, but I wonder if that could help you purchase more rentals, because that's just an exit strategy that seems fairly lucrative. And between the two people that I know, which is Alexa Dealey's boyfriend, and she's doing master leases with hospitals, and then obviously Dylan's FedKick. I don't know, Scott, do you know of any other deals that he's done? I heard he like helped the Tumanowskis do, they had something, Poconos, is that a place? I think, but in Pennsylvania, like middle of Pennsylvania. Okay. I think they had something out there and they converted that from long-term rental or short-term rental into midterm, and it was way more lucrative for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love for you guys to try it out. We're looking into it for the Nashua property. It gives me a lot of like peace and comfort, because every other person I talk to about DSCR is like, never touch a property with no cash flow. That's so dumb. So now that there is cash flow, it makes life better. Now that there is a potential for a third bedroom, makes it much better. And now that we talked to the listing agent for the house next door, that's literally same build. The concern was these are some sort of weird properties that were built after World War II, and that it doesn't really have a permanent foundation. And so it looked like, Mark, can you explain? It looked like what? PML or something?
We think it's a prefab. There's like metal I-beams like running along the front and back of the house. It was built in 1945. There's no actual foundation or basement. I guess it's sitting on like concrete piers, but I haven't really gotten a good look underneath it. So like when I had the buyer walk through, they saw just like a piece of metal kind of going through. They could see it between like the skirt that was kind of blocking the crawl space. So people are like, is this a mobile home? Right? So they're like kind of questioning, is it mobile home? Is it prefab? And so it's very likely prefab. So I don't know. You can just run into issues, I think, with like lenders like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Like if they're going FHA or VA, I think they have to have some sort of foundation, whether it's concrete block or concrete or fieldstone. But like just like pier, I guess, may not constitute as enough of a foundation. So my fear is I just didn't want to like renovate and then get stuck with a hard money loan and not be able to sell it after, especially where it wasn't cash flowing as a long term, but maybe there's a midterm it works, or I just want to be able to have another exit strategy that I don't feel super uncomfortable about. That's all.
Dude, that's the other reason I love Notorious, is because if I have a borrower and I'm not sure that they'll be able to refi because of something weird like that, I just tap into that network and I'm like, hello, who can do this loan? And they're
Yeah.
like, no fucking way, nobody will touch that. Or like, oh yeah, I have this one lender who will do it if X, Y, and Z.
Well, might be calling you towards
Yeah.
January. We'll see.
You said Mentor BS?
It's called Notorious, Suzanne. It's
Oh,
women in
oh, yeah, yeah.
mortgage. You could
Yeah.
join, Mark and Keith and Scott. You cannot sit with us. I'm so sorry. But we can tap into that network for
But
you.
we're friends, so.
Yes, yeah. You just tell me what you need and I'll go find.
Scott, do you identify as a Black woman?
Oh, yes, totally.
For entry purposes only, yes. Immediately. Yeah. Cool. All right, I like
And
it.
Suzanne,
Yeah,
oh, no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It's been going ahead all night. I added you to a midterm rental group that I'm
Thank
in.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so burnt out on shitty execution of certain strategies, like midterm rentals, one of them, wraps is one of them. Whenever somebody's like, will you let me the entry to a wrap? I'm like, leave, go. But unless, they have I-10 buyers or they have access to a bunch of sales guys or people like Mark who just don't have their taxes squared away to be able to get into a house, right? Whatever. Like, it drives me batty. But I know that there's people out there making money doing it.
Yeah.
It just has to be like right house, right market, all that stuff. I don't like midterm because if I'm gonna fuck around, I want the short-term rental money. Um, I've done midterm. I did midterm in my apartment in Houston after we moved out, just because the HOA wouldn't let me do short term.
Mhm.
It was fine, but I mean that house was paid for, so it was like it didn't need to. If it's that empty for a month, I didn't trip about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
imagine
to me, sweetie.
Nashua. Oh, go ahead, Keith.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think Nashua to be a good short-term rental spot by
Fair.
any means. That's the only issue, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if you can get somebody in for 3 months and then like you have a month between, you know, somebody moving in, you have somebody coming out in a contract or whatever, then you can short it as long as, the HOA and the county and all that allows it, you can short term to fill those gaps and you might get somebody in town visiting their family. Suzanne, I have stayed at an Airbnb in Andover.
Nice.
Expensive, I
so
would think, because no?
we stayed for Christmas and we booked like kind of last minute. So I think they were just happy to get the booking, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. I have this neighborhood is so goddamn cute. Everybody has $1 million properties. I've never seen better grass in my whole life. So I just look at it and I'm like, God damn it, this is a really great area. There's like, you need to get it. You need to get it. That's what I look for. It has to be a great, like wealthy community, not like a shithole going down the drain. And so I'm just like, it's a really cute house, really well built. And I have ideas for it as to how to do the upstairs room, how to make the kitchen nicer and, open things up more and finish everything off. So yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
It also looks like if we can get to 3-bed, then Section 8 might be up to 2,500, so it's a little better, but
Yeah.
I think 3-bed is going to be very easy. Next door also did the 3-bed thing. They sold last year for like 478, had no problems with selling it according to the listing agent. And then on top of it, I was like, Mark, go look in public records, see who was the mortgage company that gave the mortgage for that property. Because if it's the same concrete piers, I-beams, whatever, prefab, if they can do it, you can do it. What's the problem? Yeah. No problem. Anyway, Mark, what else did you do this week?
I finally closed deals I've been trying to close, so that's good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, Sanford flip sold. That was a good one. First flip done. Main
Congratulations on that.
deal
Yeah.
in Maine done. Thanks. 2 listings also sold. So that's good. Signed Nashua, not last week. Well, yeah, Monday. Well, it was before this call, but signed
Mhm.
Nashua. I have another good lead in Rochester, waiting for that to kind of hit. I don't know. I think it should be signed next week or so, hopefully. It might not get it though, but I don't know. That's about it. I'm going to Arizona on Thursday to Pace's office for the like golden ticket thing. So I'm flying
Cool.
out Thursday. Just trying to get some stuff done between now and then. Yeah.
Do you want to ask them about that whole commission 80/20?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, so thank you everyone for joining on the call tonight. It's 10 o'clock. I want to send you back into the world out there. You're welcome to I know we didn't have time to talk about what you're trying to accomplish this upcoming week, but you're welcome to write it in the group, post in the group. I have a bunch of these videos to upload to YouTube anyway. Everything we do is recorded. And so again, like tonight we had Joe on earlier. You're welcome to watch the call. The other cool part that I also do is if you look at any of the YouTube videos, there's always a summary. There's an attendance so you can see who came. There's a summary of it. And then because this is like fancy Zoom gives me like a, what do they give me? They give me next steps or like tasks, I don't know, activity. But like, so if you and I were talking and we're like, oh, I'm going to send an email to the title company, it'll be like, Suzanne said this. And so it's a digestible version of it if you don't have time to watch through everything.
Like action items and stuff too.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, action items. Yeah, Marcus, blah blah blah, or like whatever the highlights are, they'll write it out. But yeah, so I have a bunch of these that I got to throw in there. But yeah, so I use two things that we usually do is what the heck did you accomplish this past week, and then what are you hoping to accomplish this next week? I try to keep it down to like about 2 hours because everybody has a life to live, and so unfortunately, I didn't get to talk to you about what you got coming up. But if you want to write it, and then we'll get to talk about next week, did you accomplish it or not? You know, I'm not here to beat you up, but hopefully you can feel a certain type of way if you made a promise to yourself and then did not keep it. So yeah, it's a place to be seen and a place to be heard. Okay.
I put an offer in today.
You did? That is right. That's right. I like it.
Agent received it. He said he liked it so far. They had a couple other offers in hand, but they didn't. Ours seemed solid.
I'd be surprised if it doesn't go for a fair amount more than that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
They had, I think there was maybe like 5 offers total, and one of them had like a home sale contingency, and somebody else had something else annoying. And so the guy was talking about like cash offer is there's definitely advantages to a cash offer. I think it's an estate sale, so there's a little bit of time flexibility, so they're not in that much of a rush. But yeah, I think less contingencies is
leaving stuff behind was big.
Oh yeah, because they took what they wanted and whatever's left is pretty much as is condition. So for someone to be able to handle that, which I don't think is the normal consumer buyer, I think puts you in a good spot. So yeah, make the offer where you need to make it and see how the cookie crumbles. And yeah, what is meant to be will be.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm happy that you're making moves, shooting your shots, Scott.
Yeah, and then it'll be, well, they accept your offer, and I'll be okay. So what do I do now?
Figure out the next step. But the offer is good. I like the idea of like, and then also because Mark is keeping that one, we've been doing a lot of research as to like DSCR and cash out refi and like what's the answer. And I'm probably going to have another spreadsheet that I make about things. So yeah, we're in the same boat of like trying to keep more stuff and be smart about things and not be ding dongs and not make mistakes and waste money.
Yeah, there's so many different things that can be done with this property, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, Jace, Keith, midterm, I'll send you the link. Just check it out. That's all. Okay. Everyone else, thank you so much for coming. Love you mucho. Go fuck it up. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.